but it's one of the main bottlenecks that kills companies' performance and sales, and I'm going to show you why and how you can fix it. Welcome to the Marketing Made Simple podcast, and today we'll talk about target audience or persona or prospects or whatever you want to call it. Sounds a very simple and basic topic, but it's one of the main bottlenecks that kills companies' performance and sales, and I'm going to show you why and how you can fix it. Most of marketing professionals that I talk to, they are very sure about their target audience. They know 100% who they are, their behavior, and they don't even think about it when they have any problems in sales, in performance, or any type of problems they might have in their companies that they would need to check or double check or even test if their audience is correct or not. But I wrote down here a few of the biggest mistakes that people and marketing professionals make and how to approach it to keep improving your performance over time, talking to the right audience. First point is to understand that defining your target audience is an ongoing process that will never end. If you think when you start your company that you will define your target audience and never look back, you are very mistaken. Or even if you think that you can check every 5 years, every two years, your target audience. But the reality is that it's an ongoing process that will never end, and you need to keep testing, checking, getting feedbacks at the moment that you are running your communication. So it might change based on the economy, it might change the generation that you're talking to, it might change because of COVID-19 hit, so they change their behavior. So a lot of things to consider, and you need to make sure you are checking every time your target audience to see if you're talking to the right people or not. The second mistake that most of the companies do is thinking that they are talking to their target audience, but in reality, they are talking to themselves. They use terminologies, they use communications, they use images, they talk about benefits that only matters to themselves. If you ask their real customers, the view might be different. They might not even understand some of the terminologies that they use. So understanding that you need to talk to your audience, you need to always check if your communication is the right one to your audience. So always ask your customers to see if the communication that you're creating, the ads, the benefits, or any type of communication or experience that you're providing to your customers is relevant for them and they understand. Or if you're talking about the right benefits, the right features, maybe they care about comfort and you're talking about safety. So make sure you're not talking to yourself, to the things that you think are the best for your customers, but rather check with your own customers if you're talking to them, if you're using the right terminologies and communications. So now moving from the mistakes and going now to the solutions you can take and the process you can create to make sure you're always checking your target audience, you're always improving, and how to do it on digital channels. So, first topic that I mentioned is target audience is an ongoing process that will never end. So don't think you're gonna create and set your target audience and forget about it. The second thing is to make sure you're talking what your customer wanna hear, what matters to them. So now moving from the mistakes into the solutions you can create, the process you can create to make sure you're talking to the right audience. So first thing is to create a process of getting feedback from your customers and make sure you know who they are, what is important for them, and their behavior. So the first thing you can create process to get feedbacks. If you know them in person, go them face to face or give them a call and ask them about their experience buying your products, what they think about your products and service, what they think about the experience from buying from you, if they prefer to go to your shop, to your physical store, or they prefer to go online and visit your e-commerce platform, or if they find it's stressful to buy from your e-commerce platform. So understanding and collecting feedback, constant feedbacks, you can improve your process in your products and service over time. And very important is to actually use this feedback. I know a lot of companies that they just collect thousands of feedbacks and they don't do anything about it. So make sure you collect the feedbacks, get the high priority things that you need to improve, or even the things that the positive things that your customers talk about you, to make sure you highlight this in your communication that might be more impactful than the communication that you created. So make sure you create this process of constant getting feedbacks from your customers. The second thing is to create surveys at your checkout. So whenever people buy from you, make sure you ask them if they like the products, if they enjoy buying from you, what they think about the journey, if it was all fine for them, or if they have something to complain. So for example, whenever I do grocery online, I feel very stressed. It's a very stressful experience for me because the platforms are not very smooth, because I can't find the items that I want, because I can't find replacement for the items that I want. So if the platforms, if the companies understand that this is a painful point in the buying journey, they can make sure they prioritize to improve this experience, this service level. So if you don't create this process of asking your customers during their journey, it will be hard for you to identify the things that you need to improve. So and you can divide in stages. So when they buy from you, you can ask about their experience at that moment because it's fresh. So it's more likely they will give you an honest and real feedback. When they receive the product, when they have the product in hand, you can ask them about what they think about the product, if they like the product, if they use the product, what was their experience with your product or with your service. So make sure you create and automate this process of asking your customers feedback. And the third thing on this point is use your data to understand your customer behavior. You already have people buying from you, so it's easier. You have rich data in your hands. You know when they buy, you know what they buy, you know the frequency they buy, you know their basket size. So you can analyze this data to understand their behavior, why they buy this product and they don't buy the other product, how you can adjust the product that's not selling to change it in a way to look like, or any type of behavior or any type of insights you're getting from your top selling products to adjust your low performance products. And if you know that they buy more on Saturday mornings, you can adjust your communication, you can adjust your promotions to make sure you use these insights in your favor. And even in terms of frequency or any other metric that you capture. So you have a lot of insights in your own data. So make sure you analyze and capture all the key insights to improve your experience, to improve your target audience, to improve your communication, to make sure you're talking to the right people. And the last topic that I want to talk about is target audience on digital channels. So the platforms that we have nowadays are wonderful, and you can do a lot of things to improve and keep and automate the process of improving your target audience. So the first thing you have to make sure you do it, or you ask your agency to do it, is to split your audience into groups, into segments. You can segment based on gender, on language, on nationality, on age groups, and you can get insights based on the performance of each group. So for example, if you have a group for young people that's performing way better than the other ones, you can adjust your communication to talk to this type of group, or even creating a separate communication just for this specific ad group, just for this specific target audience. So you can increase your performance talking to the right audience and talking to the best performing group that you have. And even playing with the budget. If this group is performing very low, you can move the budget from this group, or even stopping all this communication to this group and removing it from your target audience and moving this budget to the best performing, to the top performing group that you have. So this can immediately impact in your performance, in your conversion rate, and also get very good insights on what exactly is your target audience. So with this information in your hands that you get from real customers' behavior, you can adjust your target audience to see if it reflects whatever you defined before that. And the second and last thing that you can play with on digital channels is with the multiple variables that you have in all platforms. So for example, you can split and segment your groups into based on engagement, based on likes, based on the type of assets. You can create groups for static images. You can create groups for videos. You can even create groups for placements, like groups for only people who watched your stories, or people who watched your Instagram feed, or people who watched your YouTube videos, or people who only interact with your display campaigns. So then you can start seeing and getting insights from the performance of each group, and then define your communication based on the insights that you're getting. So maybe you see that your communication on YouTube, people like to engage more rather than converting. So maybe you can create more brand awareness and consideration type of campaigns on YouTube. And then you see that your Facebook campaigns performs really well in terms of conversions, in terms of sales. So you can adjust your communication and maybe reducing the brand awareness or consideration campaigns on Facebook and create more promotions, more bottom of the funnel type of campaigns on Facebook. So you have amazing possibilities on the digital channels. Make sure you capture those insights and really test your target audience, dividing into small segments to see what's performing and what is not performing, to see if your target audience matches with the digital performance. So recapping, 4 topics that I cover, 2 mistakes and 2 solutions. So the first thing is defining your target audience is an ongoing process that will never end. The second thing is make sure you're talking in the right way to your target audience and not talking about something that you think is relevant for them, but things that really matters and are relevant for them. The third thing is create process of getting feedbacks from your customers. So you can incorporate this into your process and learn with this and act on it to change your products and improve your product service and customer service. And the last thing is you have powerful digital channels in your hands. Make sure you get the right insights to feedback your process of defining your target audience, confirming if the target audience that you define matches with the customer's behavior online. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the content, and make sure you like, you subscribe to my channel, and leave your comment here if you agree or even if you disagree with anything that I said, so we can create a nice conversation about it. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me that I'll personally answer to all the questions that I get. Yalla, bye!